Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 11th March 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Before that, all of you please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. It is a highly expensive training course, but we made it a complete free training and all the training lessons are available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. So at our channel homepage, click on the tab Posts. Some of you might be seeing the tab Community. Click on the tab. You get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that will take you to all the training lessons. So just click on the link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course YouTube playlist. I kept all the training lessons in this playlist. You just need to scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one according to my training instructions provided at our Telegram channel. I provided the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. So join at our Telegram channel. At the top of the Telegram channel window, you can find pinned messages. Go to the pinned messages. There you can find all the training instructions. So learn this course according to my training instructions. Definitely you will become a very good independent trader in the coming months. Please make use of this opportunity. Now I am going to generate different supply demand zone reports with the help of NeoStock Software's supply demand zone top-down analysis strategy builder. Okay, first I am going to generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zones and daily and above time frames. I will also generate price closed inside demand and supply zones, and during this process daily and 75 minutes time frames we will also identify HLQ zones that will be useful for our HLQ zone strategy learned in lesson 21.3 video. Okay, let me start with the yearly time frame. Price closed inside the yearly demand zone. We got 4 stocks. I am giving you only few seconds time. So pause the video, study the report and proceed further. Those who don't understand the structure of this report, I suggest you complete our training lesson 21.1. In that video, I have explained each and every column, their values, abbreviations in detail. Okay, next, yearly time frame. Price closed inside yearly supply zone. We don't have any stocks. Next time frame is a half yearly. Stocks near half yearly demand zone. We got 2 stocks. Okay, next half yearly time frame, stocks near half yearly supply zone. We don't have any stocks. Half yearly time frame, price closed inside the half yearly demand zone. We got 7 stocks. Next half yearly time frame, price closed inside half yearly supply zone. We got 2 stocks. Next time frame is a quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone, we got 4 stocks. Next, stocks near quarterly supply zone, we got 5 stocks. Next, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, first 23 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 42 stocks are filtered. Price closed inside quarterly demand zone. We can further filter this list based on EMA Confluence. Quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. So let me add that filter EMA Confluence on quarterly time frame. Checking quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways, because sideways trend EMA Confluence does not give any effect. So that's why I'm selecting trend up or down with these filters. Now the list is come down to 20 stocks from 42 list, from the 42 stocks list. So these 20 quarterly demand zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. And also price closed inside the quarterly demand zone. Okay, next quarterly time frame. Price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 4 stocks. Let's verify out of these 4, how many of these stocks are having quarterly supply zones with quarterly EMA confluence. In the EMA confluence at quarterly time frame, I am setting quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA confluence. We got 3 stocks out of 4. These 4 quarterly supply zones are having quarterly EMA confluence and also price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. So this is about quarterly time frame. Next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. We got 11 stocks. Next, stocks near monthly supply zone. We got 4 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 19 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 52 stocks are filtered. Price closed inside monthly demand zone. Let us further filter this list by setting EMA confluence to the monthly demand zone. So in the EMA confluence at monthly time frame, I am setting the filter monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, and the trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, now the list is come down. First 21 stocks in the list. Price closed inside the monthly demand zone, and the monthly demand zones are having monthly EMA confluence. First 21 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 27 stocks are filtered. Okay, next, monthly time frame. Price closed inside the monthly supply zone. We got 9 stocks. Out of these 9 monthly supply zones, how many are having monthly supply zones with monthly EMA confluence? Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at monthly, checking monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence, and trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Now the list is come down to 3 stocks. These 3 monthly supply zones are having monthly EMA confluence, and also current price closed inside those monthly supply zones. Okay, this is about monthly time frame. Next time frame is weekly. Stocks near weekly demand zone. Total 15 stocks are filtered. Next, stocks near weekly supply zone. We got 16 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 16 stocks are filtered. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 43 stocks are filtered. Out of these 43, how many weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence? Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, I am selecting the filter weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence or not. And also the trend on the weekly time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, the list is come down to 5 stocks. These 5 weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence, and also current price closed inside the weekly demand zone. Okay, next, weekly time frame. Price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 16 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 24 stocks are filtered. Price closed inside the weekly supply zone. We can further filter this list by setting the parameter EMA Confluence, weekly supply zone having weekly EMA Confluence. So I'm going back in the EMA Confluence parameter at weekly. I'm selecting the filter weekly supply zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, the list is come down to 10 stocks. These 10 weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA Confluence. And also current price closed inside the weekly supply zone. So this is about weekly time frame. And the next time frame is daily. Entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. It is a pierced zone, so we can't select for HLQ zone strategy. We don't have any valid high liquidity daily demand zones from this list for our HLQ zone strategy. Okay, next. For daily time frame, let us find the stocks near daily supply zone. Total we got 16 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity supply zones from this list. Laurus Labs is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. Marico is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. Tata Motors is having a daily high liquidity supply zones. So we have identified 3 daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. Okay, next. For daily time frame, price closed inside the daily demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 38 stocks are filtered. Price closed inside daily demand zone. We can further filter this list by setting a daily EMA Confluence on the daily demand zone. So in the EMA Confluence at a daily time frame, I am setting the filter daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence. And the trend on the daily time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, we got 10 stocks. These 10 daily demand zones are having daily EMA Confluence. And also current price closed inside these daily demand zones. Okay, next. Daily time frame, price closed inside the daily supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 52 stocks are filtered. Out of these 52, how many daily supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence? Let's filter. So in the EMA Confluence filter at daily time frame, I'm selecting daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence, and the trend on the daily time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, first 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 22 stocks are filtered. These 22 daily supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence. and also current price closed inside the daily supply zone. All daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. Okay, this is about the daily time frame. The next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. We got 3 stocks. Next, stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 19 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. We got 7 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity 75 minutes daily 75 minutes demand zones from this list. Now we don't have any 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones. That means today from both daily and 75 minutes time frames we did not find any demand zones. All the HLQ trades should be only on the supply zones. Interesting. Okay. Next, for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. We got 16 stocks. So let us identify high liquidity supply zones from this list. Hindalco is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. JSL is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. Jubilant Food is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. And Shenzhen is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. So we identified 4 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. Okay, so this is about 75 minutes time frame. Next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. We got 5 stocks. Next, stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. We got 11 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. We got 2 stocks. Let's check out of these two which zone is having ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I enabled the filter. We got 1 stock, but this 15 minute zone is pierced zone. Okay, next for 15 minutes time frame, stocks near 15 minutes supply zone. We got 17 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 17 stocks are filtered. Let us verify out of these 17 how many are having ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, out of 17, the list is come down to 10 stocks. Out of these 10, few are pierced supply zones. We have to ignore them. 3 stocks we identified. Okay, this is about 15 minutes time frame. The next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. We got 5 stocks. Let's verify out of these 5 how many are having ITF demand zone confluence. That is 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. We got only 1 stock. Okay, next. 5 minutes time frame, stocks near 5 minutes supply zone. We got 15 stocks. Out of these 15, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? Let us verify. That is 5 minutes supply zone with 15 minutes supply zone confluence. So with this filter, we got 9 stocks. And out of these, a few might be, this is a PR supply zone. This one is also, this one is also. You can't use those PR supply zone stocks. Okay, this is about 5 minutes time frame. With this, we have completed stocks near demand and supply zones. Next, we will generate NIFTY and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Let me start with NIFTY. So I'm generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. This is NIFTY monthly supply demand zone chain. Always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. And also look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. This is how you should understand the remaining reports. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. Okay, next, weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Okay, next, daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Let me put it in the center. Okay, next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. All these are all supply zones. I'm scrolling the list down. This is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. Let me adjust in the center. Okay, next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. All are supply zones. I am scrolling the list down. Further scrolling the list down. 67th we have the demand zone. Putting it in the center. I am adjusting in the center. Okay. So this is the 5 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So this is about NIFTY supply demand zone chain. Next we will generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. That is nothing but Nifty Bank generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 125-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 75-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Let me adjust in the center. Okay, next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Twenty-ninth is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. Let me keep it in the center. Okay. Next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. All these are all supply zones. I'm scrolling the list down. The nearest demand zone to the current closing price is 35, but it is a pierced zone. Let me put it in the center. Okay, so this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. With this, we have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, we will generate bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, and daily income trades and hourly income trades. For monthly income trade, bullish trade setup, entry time frame daily, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish trade setup at daily time frame. I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score is 12. With these filters, we got 8 stocks. These 8 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Let us further filter these stocks to find high probability trade setup supported stocks to get the success, that is based on the zone confluence. Zone confluence, first filter is LTF, ITF demand zone confluence. That is a daily and weekly demand zone confluence. Let us enable that filter. Daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. With this filter, from 8, the stocks are come down to 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zones. Weekly trend is up in all these stocks, ITF trend. Because daily is overlapped with weekly, if weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence, then these daily zones could be even more high probability to get the success. Let's verify how many of these stocks are available. In the EMA confluence at a weekly time frame, because daily zone is overlapped with weekly. That's why we are checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. With this filter, we got 1 stock. So this is even more high probability trade setup supported stock to get the success. That's why it is already tested several times. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF, demand zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. In the 3, first one is already enabled daily with weekly demand zone confluence. Next, daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. Weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only one stock. So this daily demand zone overlapped with weekly demand zone. Both together overlapped with monthly demand zone. And monthly trend is up. If monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, then this daily demand zone could be even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at monthly time frame, checking monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence or not. So that is not having monthly EMA confluence. Okay, this is about a bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade, entry time frame daily, entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at daily, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum order enhances score 12. With these filters, we did not get any stocks. Currently, there are no bearish trade setup monthly income trade. Let us check. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone is, we made a mistake here. The entry zone should be supply zone. It should be supply zone for bearish trade setup. This is bearish. Perfectly we selected. Let us filter again. Now we got 6 stocks. That's why whenever we get some doubt, always we should look into search strategy. Search strategy will tell our mistakes. So currently there are 6 stocks supporting bearish trade setup. Because we set this filter in a wrong way, earlier we did not get any stocks. Okay. Out of these 6 are supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. And all these entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. Out of these 6 daily supply zones, how many are having high probability to get more success? That we will find based on the supply zone confluence. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is the daily and weekly supply zone confluence. I am enabling that filter. With this filter, out of 6 stocks, we got 5 stocks. In these 5 stocks, daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. And weekly trend is down in all these stocks. Out of these 5, if any of the stocks, weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA confluence, then these daily supply zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, I am selecting weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. So out of 5, we got 4 stocks. So these 4 stocks might be having even more high probability to get success. This is based on LTF, ITF supply zone confluence and ITF EMA confluence to the supply zones. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. That is daily, weekly, monthly supply zone confluence supported. I removed EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, I should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Second, daily with monthly supply zone confluence and weekly with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. Both together overlapped with monthly supply zone. But monthly trend is sideways. When sideways, you can't check monthly supply zone with monthly EMA confluence because that does not add any advantage. So this is about bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, we will look into weekly income trade supported stocks. First, bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zones, At 75 minutes, I'm selecting bullish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhancer score 12. 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes, minimum value I'm setting 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means the zone is not pierced. Which zone? Whichever the zone you selected here. Which one we selected? 75 minutes demand zone. That means 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced, and it should be having a zone achievement violated opposing zone, and the 75 minutes demand zone minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. That means all the three filters are applied to 75 minutes demand zone. This is how you should understand the remaining reports. So we got only one stock. Currently bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame is 75 minutes demand zone. It is already tested 2 times. Now let's verify this zone is having a daily demand zone confluence. In the demand zone confluence, I'm enabling the filter 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. So it is filter. That means this 75 minutes demand zone is overlapped with daily demand zone, and daily trend is up. Let's check if the daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. At a daily time frame, I'm enabling the filter daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. So the stock is not filtered. Now let's verify the same stock having LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. Remove EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, first filter already enabled. Next 75 minutes demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence, daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got this stock. That means this 75 minutes demand zone is overlapped with daily. Both together overlapped with weekly demand zone, and also weekly demand zone, weekly trend is up. That's why if weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence, this stock is even having more probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, I am checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. So the stock is not filtered. It is the weekly demand zone not having weekly EMA confluence. Okay, this is about the bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Entry zone, supply zone in bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes. Selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And 75 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So at 75 minutes, minimum value 0, maximum value 0 for the pierced count. So with these filters, we got 24 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list, which are supporting bullish trade setup for, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, supply zones. Scrolling the list down, NIFTY Bank is also listed. Infy is also listed. Top companies. ONGC. So many stocks are there. L&T, Geo Finance. Okay. Out of these 24, let us verify how many are having more probability to get success. First, we will look into LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. So I am enabling that filter. So with this filter, we got 16 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. Okay, in all these stocks, ITF trend is down. That is a daily trend. And 75-minute supply zone is overlapped with daily supply zone in all these stocks. So that's why if the daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence, then these 75-minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get the success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at daily time frame, I am setting the filter daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence or not. With this filter, we got 12 stocks. So these 12 75-minute supply zones are having even more high probability to get success. Because these 75-minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone, and that daily supply zone is having daily EMA confluence in these 12 stocks. Okay, this is LTF, ITF supply zone and ITF EMA confluence specific stocks. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled, 75 with daily supply zone confluence. Next, 75-minute supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. Daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence with all the 3 filters. LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, we got 5 stocks. In these 5 stocks, these 75-minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. Both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. And a weekly trend, HTF trend is down in 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, if any weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, then these 75-minute zones might be having more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, I am selecting weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, and the trend on the weekly time frame should not be sideways. It should be downtrend. It is bearish trade setup. Let's filter the stocks. We got 2 stocks. So these 2 75-minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get the success. We are only calculating the probability to get success. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, we will look into daily income trade stocks. Daily income trade bullish trade setup, entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes, I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. And these 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got only 1 stock. Currently, only 1 stock is supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. The entry time frame zone is 15 minutes demand zone. And it is already tested once. Now let's verify this is having ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. So I am enabling the filter. Yes, it is having ITF confluence. That means this 15 minutes demand zone is overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is up. So that's why we will check if the 75 minutes demand zone is having daily EMA confluence. In the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am checking 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. So that stock is not having demand zone confluence. Okay, filter, we will check that stock is having even HTF confluence. Removing this EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, demand zone confluence, not supply zone, in the demand zone confluence, because it is bullish trade setup. In the demand zone confluence, first filter is already enabled. Second filter, 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. With all the three filters, we got one stock. In this stock, this 75 minutes demand zone is, this 15 minutes demand zone is overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Both together overlapped with daily demand zone. So it is a fine-tuned 15 minutes demand zone inside daily demand zone. That is how you should understand. But that daily demand zone is trend is sideways. So because it is sideways, EMA confluence, we won't get any advantage. So we are not verifying. So this is bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement is violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score is 12. And the 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So with these filters, we did not get any stock. So have we selected properly? Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. Zone achievement violated opposing. POZ. OE score greater than 12. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes, we selected. See the mistake. Have you noticed? I selected bullish. Actually, I am supposed to select bearish. So let me go back and correct the mistake. So we are selecting bearish. That's why we selected 15 minute supply zone. When you select supply zone, it should support bearish trade setup. Now let me filter. See, now we got 7 stocks. So this is how such strategy helps when we make mistakes. Okay, these 7 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Now it is bearish. Okay. Out of these 7, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? Let us filter. That is 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. So this is the parameter. I am enabling the filter, and this filter will be applied on those 7 stocks. Now the list is come down to 5 stocks. That means these 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone, and 75 minutes trend is down in all these stocks. If 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA, then these 15 minute supply zones might be having more probability, more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am checking 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence. We got 2 stocks. So these 2 75 minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Next, 15 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. That means these 15 minute supply zones, because it is bearish trade setup, you should not look into demand zones. Demand zones are only target zones. Entry zones are supply zones. So these 2 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with daily supply zone, but unfortunately daily trend is sideways in both the stocks, so we can't verify with EMA confluence on daily time frame. because it won't give any extra advantage. Okay, this is bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, we will look into hourly income trade supported stocks. Hourly income trade entry time frame is 5 minutes. Entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, I am selecting bullish. And the zone achievement should always be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should always be 12. Minimum 12. And 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, at 5 minutes time frame, I am selecting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 6 stocks. These 6 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for hourly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 5 minutes demand zones. All these 5 minutes demand zones. These are the entry time frame demand zones. Out of these 6, how many are having ITF confluence? Let us verify. That is 5 minutes demand zones with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, we got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. And 15 minutes trend is up in all the 4 stocks. If any of these 15 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, maybe we can consider them as even more they might be having more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting 15 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. No stocks are filtered. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone supported stocks. I am removing this EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to select. First one is 5 minutes with 15 minutes demand zone confluence, 5 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence, 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In both these stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones are fine-tuned demand zones, fine-tuned 5 minutes demand zones from 75 minutes demand zone. But 75 minutes trend is sideways. We can't further filter based on the EMA confluence because that does not give any advantage in sideways trend. So this is bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame is 5 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, I am selecting bearish. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. And 5 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced column at 5 minutes time frame, I am selecting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With all the filters, we got 10 stocks. These 10 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for hourly income trade, and all these entry time frame zones are 5 minute supply zones. Okay, out of these 10 5 minute supply zones, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? Let us verify. That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone confluence. So in the supply zone confluence, I am enabling that filter 5 minutes supply zone with 15 minutes supply zone confluence, and now the list is come down to 9 from 10 stocks. So that means in all these 9 stocks, these 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zone. And 15 minutes trend is a downtrend in all these stocks. If any of the 15 minute supply zones are having daily EMA, probably they could be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. So in the EMA confluence at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting the filter. 15 minute supply zone is having daily EMA confluence. With this filter, we got 2 stocks. Maybe these 2 might be having more or extra probability to get the success. And moreover, both these, I think first one is high liquidity, second one is a normal supply zone. Fine. First one is already tested once. Okay, this is based on LTF and ITF and ITF EMA Confluence. Next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone Confluence. I am removing EMA filter. In the supply zone Confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled, that is 5 minutes with 15 minute supply zone Confluence. Next, 5 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone Confluence. 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters are enabled, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, these 5 minute supply zones are fine-tuned supply zones inside the 75 minute supply zone. These are the fine-tuned supply zones. Okay, fine. Out of these 3, only one stock is having downtrend, 75 minutes. If that stock is having any daily EMA, we can consider this stock is having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting the filter. 75 minute supply zone is having daily EMA Confluence or not. At the same time, trend on the 75 minutes time frame should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. Let's filter. Oh, that's great. This stock is filtered. That means the 75 minutes supply zone is having daily EMA. Inside that 75, our 5 minute supply zone is a fine-tuned 5 minute supply zone. So that way this might be having even more high probability to get success. So this is about bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. So we have completed all the income trades. In the final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. What I do, I keep on scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there you please pause the video. I'm scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.